Hey, Kate.
Hi.
Good
My,
afternoon.
huh?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Good, good. Awesome. Well, so far we're the only ones on, so we'll see if anybody joins us, but we might just get like a private session, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, well, tell me a little bit about, since it's just us right now, tell me a little bit about what's going on with business and if is there anything specific that I can help you with as far as the money missions or just different questions?
Um, yeah, so let me get in here. So I'm just kind of plugging along. I am I don't think that I really have my mix whatever set right.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Money levers.
Okay.
So
Yeah, if you want to share your screen with me, we can
okay.
together.
Okay.
For sure. Great.
And I think that I'm like kind of stuck there because I'm trying to get that right.
Yeah, totally. Well, and honestly, there's some new things that have changed with the way that goals are set in the software, and so that could be affecting things. Um, so why don't we actually go there first? Let's go to set goals first. That way we can make sure yours is set up properly. If you'll go to edit, I'll just take a look at it.
Edit. Okay.
Okay, so you're going for increasing monthly revenue.
Mm.
And then, okay, so scroll down. So we want to put in what your current MRR is.
Oh, my current monthly recurring revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it has gone down, unfortunately. So
okay,
this month is 116 and next month is gonna be, it's projected at 122.
okay.
16. So you go in and do this every month? Because it's been,
No,
well, so average, I'm averaging usually about more like 120. So
okay.
should I just use that?
You could, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then what's the monthly revenue per customer? So this would actually be your average ticket times whatever your average frequency is. Does that make sense?
So this would be 154 times 2.
Yeah, in most cases it's like 2 or even 2.2 or around there. Just depends. I do have a spreadsheet that you can use to actually get your exact average.
Okay.
What remind me, do you use Made Central? Which CRM do you?
No, ZenMaid.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you wanted to send me like how many weekly and bi-weekly and monthlies you have, we could figure out the exact.
Well, do you want me to just give them to you or do you want me to
Sure.
send them?
Yeah, if you've got them handy, be great. Let me pull that spreadsheet up real quick.
Here, let's see, contacts.
Hey, Sonia, I see Sonia just joined us. We're kind of doing a,
Hey,
hey, we're kind of doing
hey.
free for all, if you will. Um, just kind of going over some nuts and bolts here. So this actually would be really helpful. We're talking about the goals, financial goals in the software and the money levers. So this may be real helpful for you.
Let's see here. So 186 biweekly
Okay.
and 24 weeklies,
Okay.
154 quad weeklies.
Uh-huh.
And then we have some of them that are like every 3 months or whatever, that we just say they're occasional. I don't know
Um,
if you want to use them because there's just 37.
oh, I see. Gotcha. We could, mm, we might not want to factor them in just to be more on the safe side, if you will. Uh, I mean, you said there's 37.
Yes.
Okay, so if I do that in three, that'd be like about 12 per month. Um, and then how many initial cleans do you typically do per month? Just kind of an average.
Mm, hmm. Well, this month we have 14,
Okay.
or we have 14. I guess we have 14 coming up.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Mm,
Do you know roughly how many you did last month?
let's see. If you help me figure out the math, we probably do 3 of them a week.
Oh, okay. So about 12. Okay. Cool. So roughly you're seeing about 1.7 cleanings per month uh per client.
Okay.
So yeah. So we do 154. Is 154 your average ticket?
It must be. I looked it up that when I was in here.
Okay.
Um,
'Cause that is we could get that up. I mean that does seem pretty low. Uh
mm, mm,
so we're looking at about 262 per month.
okay, so average revenue per customer. I gotta write this down. I'm gonna check my own numbers for that if you think it's low.
Yeah.
Revenue per.
Just remind me, is your hourly rate like 52?
It was, yep. But we're going through a price increase right now to 54.
Okay, good.
And what
Yeah,
did you say this was? 154 times.
times 1.7.
And what was
1.7 was our yeah, the average cleanings per month per customer. So that's 262, yeah, 261.18. And then for the how much does it cost to service one customer? So that's whatever your cost of goods sold is,
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah,
that's what it would be.
okay.
So are you at like 50 or 55%?
Oh, I see. Yeah, we are right up there at 55. Sometimes we go over.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we could just do 55% of that 261. So that would be 143.99.
143.99.
Yes, ma'am. Hey
Okay.
Laura, welcome. And then is that 3% attrition
Yeah,
accurate? Okay, cool.
yeah, it may have gone up. We're hitting I don't know if other people are seeing this, but it's first time in 13 years that that I haven't gone up. We're
Mm,
slowly coming down.
okay, good. That's awesome. It's always a good sign.
No,
So,
it's the other way. We were,
oh,
gaining customers, more customers than we're losing.
yes.
And now we're losing more than we're gaining.
Okay, gotcha. So then your monthly churn rate should be quite a bit higher.
Yeah, I'm sure it went up since I did
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I
And
know a lot of people are seeing that.
yeah, hold on 1 second. I have that number here.
Hmm. So Laura, we're just kind of going through uh Kate's numbers and the money levers, but right now we're in the goals, just making sure that everything's in line. So this may be helpful for you if you have any questions.
Cleans loss 7.7.
Okay, that's your attrition.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely higher. Usually, that's due to quality, but it can be due to, well, yeah, 7%. Usually if it gets above 5 or 6%, it starts to be quality and scheduling issues, or some type of change. It could be because of raising prices, for example.
Yeah, it started before that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, well, let's keep going down here and uh all right, and then for what do you want to measure? So we can measure it really two main ways. We can measure the number of leads that you need to get to grow every month, or we can measure um, the number of customers that you want to acquire each month based on the average ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which one would you prefer to measure? Like, would you prefer to measure this is how many leads I need to get, or is this is how many customers I need to get?
Customers.
Okay, so go to other, like click where it says leads and click other, and we're going to define that as customers. And this looks a little weird, but we did talk about it with Josh this week, and so like we learned, okay, we're doing it correctly. Just want to make sure. And it says how many customers typically equal one customer. That's one. So yeah. So all it's doing is it's taking the average ticket, your average monthly spend per client, and we're extrapolating that out into, what's the difference between my current monthly recurring revenue versus my goal recurring revenue that I want to achieve by the end of December. And this is how many new customers I need to get each month in
Woo.
order to stay on pace. Okay. Now, if you go up and you play with your attrition number, this will change drastically. Because if you noticed when you changed your monthly churn rate from 3% to 7%, your subscription value got cut in half.
Hmm.
You see, it's almost double the amount of clients that you have to get whenever your churn rate
Mhm.
is that high. And so you'll want to really focus on that. Do you have any sort of intel or feeling as to what's really causing that yet?
Well, I mean, if it's something that maybe has changed, I have somebody the new person that's answering the phones in the afternoons.
Uh-huh. Okay. And is that customer service related?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and which means she answers the phone, so it would be if a lead happened to call, then she would do an estimate, or it's customer service. So
She's doing sales and customer service.
yeah.
Okay. Usually you do want to separate the two. Um, Let me think.
Okay.
It's and yeah, so whoever's answering the phones, that can definitely have a big impact. Like especially if, it's your current clients calling in with issues or whatever, and the way those get handled, the tone of voice that she
Mhm.
uses, is she confused? Is there a clear process, for how to handle this? Like so many things can go wrong when it comes to customer service when we're training and have somebody new.
Yeah.
Have you listened to her calls very much?
Yeah, she's improving, but she was really not good. She was very, she wasn't confident at all, and she um didn't have good skills, but she's improving.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, I could definitely um do like a trial, just kind of see and take her off for a few months and see what happens.
Okay. So you're saying you have other manpower in the office that could handle the customer service?
Yes, so we have the usual sales. She's actually my general manager, but she lives in Texas, so she usually is the one that does the sales,
Mhm.
the answering the phone calls, which is if it's customer service or a lead or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, she's usually the one that does that. So, and she's been doing it for years, but I wanted to give her, I gave her, you know, she's now the general manager. So I was trying to get her into other things.
Mhm. Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a make or break role. In some ways it's almost more important than sales because sales is really not that hard if you just kind of know
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing and have some confidence. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like customer service and the way things get handled and just like how secure people feel in their relationship with you and stuff and with your office. Like though people start to leave and they won't really say anything, but it's just like I honestly had that issue one time in our office, and it was like, somebody who was dreadful on the phones and
Mm-hmm.
decent with sales, but like the customer service issues were just not handled the way that I wanted, and eventually she had to go. But
Hmm.
so yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Do you have a good feeling on where quality is?
Yeah, I do. I think our quality is still really good. We have, we send out surveys after each clean and we get, we get very high surveys every time. So,
Okay, good. Well, then I would look at, yeah, customer service phones and then also scheduling and just make sure that you're not dropping the ball on scheduling and things aren't going under the radar, you
mm-hmm.
because that can be huge. So, okay.
Man.
And then so what you can do here, um now since you're if you'll scroll back up for me a little bit, since you're already since the year's already started and we're like at 120,000, um, you can go up a little bit more. You can change your start date uh, right above there.
Okay.
Um,
Right here.
uh-huh, to reflect where you are right now, and that it may change things just a little bit.
We'll say, stay.
Hmm. Let's see if
Eh,
it's a little different. It's not much, just a little different. Um, so, but that'll keep you more with more accurate numbers. And then if scroll down, Kate, to the bottom to that graph. If you know that you're gonna, sorry, not to the graph. I'm so sorry. Go up to the levers, like right above that. There you go. If you know, for example, like July is your slowest month, you can bring that down and then, bring October and September up. So you can
mm,
manually adjust these numbers
mm-hmm.
based on what you know your revenue curve is. Whenever we're doing, and this is good for Lori and Novi to know, whenever we're doing a monthly recurring revenue goal, it doesn't follow our natural revenue curve. It's more of a ramp up. Does that make sense? And throughout the year. And so but you can adjust this manually. So what you'd want to do, you just want to look at where it says total MRR right below that, and it has that number, $147,807. Just make sure that that stays, around the same. So as you adjust those levers, you just want to make sure that that stays consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go up and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say, do you ever send out these recordings?
I do. In fact, they're all in your software now. I sent out an email a couple weeks ago. So
Oh,
all the past recordings are actually in the software
perfect.
in the I think it's called group resources. Hmm. And then yes, so I will be uploading these constantly. But if you ever like need a specific one or like you and I have a call or something, I can send it to you directly for sure. Cool. So let's I'm sorry, scroll down to the bottom. Just want to make sure that this is okay. So we're good. Looks like it's already been saved. So we'll scroll up to the top and we will go back. Awesome. And then just refresh the page. That a lot of times helps to make sure that like those numbers really get plugged in to the back end which is going to determine your money levers and your marching orders and everything. So then you
Okay.
said you had some questions about the money levers.
Yeah, basically, like for the Google ads, so I have somebody that's doing that I pay to do my Google ads.
Mhm.
So is this the amount that I pay him plus
Yeah.
Google?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then,
And I would do, honestly, I would use a monthly average. So if on average you spend like, $1,000 with Google and then it's $500 for managing or whatever, that's $1,500 a month. And then, yeah, that's how I
okay.
would do it. But you really want to like click on it, click on Google Ads.
Mm.
Um, so
So
when
I
it,
did put them both into one.
okay, okay, so do you always spend the same every week?
As far as, do
As
I always,
ad spend? Do you
let's
pretty
see what,
much Do you pretty much just let it run in the background and you never really change the amount? Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Because when you have all the boxes checked like this, it'll be a what's called a on and off button basically, where you just say I ran Google Ads or I didn't,
Oh,
Whereas if you unfix it, um, actually do the top one fixed. Yeah. But whenever it's like this, it'll be an actual money lever where you can determine, how much money you want to spend. But if you want to spend the same every week and every month, like that's fine. And so you can make it to where it's an on and off lever. But go where it says quantity and items. And are you doing 7 different ads?
I don't know. I went in there and looked and I counted the different campaigns that I'm running.
Okay. Okay. Well, then put 7 campaigns up where it says flyers, put in campaigns, because I think that's why it was in red. So it may
Oh,
not be showing up properly.
okay.
Close and save that.
Okay. And
And
then Facebook organic.
yeah. And so here you'd want to put like 3 posts. Just make sure you fill all these different things out.
Got it. And I don't do this every week.
Okay, and that's fine. So you can just change your mix, you know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
and not,
So
yeah.
then this would be
This
this.
will this is good because the way that it'll do this is it'll say how many Facebook posts do you want to do this
Okay.
week, you know. So, yeah.
Oh, so this is what I'm missing right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, these are ads.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
I
then
need those for radio ads. Are those like local ads or local radio stations?
yeah, we do a lot of bartering. So I barter with the local radio station. We clean the radio station and they run free ads for us. And
Okay.
then every once in a while I'll throw a paid one in there, but
So for referrals, on average, how many referrals does it take you to get one customer, would you say? So if 3 people
oh,
refer you, does that end up being one customer or is it 2 people?
it depends on the platform. If hey, I have your cleaning service and I told my neighbor about you, then it's one.
Mhm.
If it's Facebook, it might be, you know, uh maybe half a dozen
Okay,
people.
sure.
I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
would just take an average of that if that's how you want to
I'll
track
just
it.
say three.
Yeah. So let's say 3 referrals ends up being one customer. Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Uh,
what am I doing wrong?
maybe it just didn't register. Try it again. Hmm.
Refresh, maybe?
Okay. And we'll wrap this up in a second. That's weird. Let me look real quick. I don't see anything that looks strange. Um, huh. You could try like quantity and items. You just like change something, and see if that fixes it. Yeah. Sometimes they're like that. I think I actually had one time where I had to delete it and do it over again. It just would not,
Okay,
didn't like what I was doing.
I'll just delete that one and do it over. But at least I know what I've been doing wrong, why they had the red box, so.
Yeah, you do have to fill everything out. Now go to your marching orders up at the
And
top.
my orders.
There we go. Cool. And we're set mix. So now it's going to show you how many customers you need this week, and then you decide, you tell it, how much you're going to spend on Google and so on.
So then I would be like, whatever, I average divided by 4, and I would put that in here.
Yeah, so 2,500 divided by 4 is like 625, I think. 625. My math served me well.
Six
And then,
forty-five is close.
okay, cool.
Okay.
And yeah, so you do a couple more Facebook organic posts and maybe a Yelp ad, whatever. Should land you something.
Um,
Oh, but we haven't closed your gap yet.
no,
Yeah. So we need to.
so we will need to do some emails maybe,
It's a lot of emails.
or maybe more Google ads.
Yeah, you could. Are there any other marketing channels that you do right now actively?
Yeah, I just started, well, we had a storm now, so we stopped, but, um, my employees and I are putting out yard signs
Good.
and flyers.
Cool. That's good.
So
Have you
that
gone through the puddle jumping?
yes, and that's what we're trying to get accomplished. And then I'm gonna do the plan was, but big snowstorm in Minnesota stopped everything, was to then do the Facebook with it.
Yeah.
Because in Minnesota, we can't really, with the flyers, we have to go into some place and hand them a flyer.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna do the Facebook, um, the word where you just have a limit of the area that you're gonna,
Yeah.
target.
Yeah. Very good. And whenever you do that, I highly recommend doing a on your Facebook ad, like having a picture of the front of the neighborhood or something about the neighborhood that everybody who lives there is going to notice, and then call them out. Say, "Hey, Water Creek residents, your neighbors love us, and we think you will too, and blah blah blah. And you've seen our flyers, and you know."
Mhm.
But the main thing is getting their attention. Once you get their attention, it's a lot easier. And then you've got to have some back end, like you would plug them into your email nurture sequence and all of that.
Mhm.
That, of course, is really important, which honestly these days is pretty easy to do, because Facebook integrates so well with all the different CRMs for the most part. So, but I
I
know,
got a question.
yes, I know, Laura, and you've been on my mind
Sorry.
because you mentioned that the puddle jumping was not going well for you guys, and so I wanted to
Yeah. So
hear.
I think what it was that was, it's not the right time. We live in Michigan, so I'm in Michigan and we've had like crazy weather, so I think that it wasn't right timing. When is a good timing for this? Like, so that's, I mean, to me, flyers, people walking out like in neighborhoods and that kind of stuff is more, yes, we have some days that are nicer, but then we've had snow again. So it's like,
That makes sense. That makes sense. I know down here in Texas, which our weather's like really different, obviously, but I
yeah.
will say, when like my lawn guy, for example, they would always hit us up as soon as it was pretty clear that spring had sprung, and truly we were ready to mow lawns again. And there's just like that sense of freshness in the air, and it's like, oh, finally winter's over, and like pretty sure the last snowstorm is past us. So that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up because yes, timing can be critical depending on what type of marketing you're doing. So you're probably right. It probably was just a timing issue.
Mm.
Yeah, people aren't going to be out as much, so they're like they're not opening, you know, they don't want to open their front door because it's cold and like they don't see your flyers, and they're just not going out. They're not paying attention to yard signs. Maybe the sun isn't out. I don't know. There could be a lot of variables.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely want to try that again. We did do a decent amount because it was nice weather, but yeah, I think we
Hmm.
can do better again, and just,
But like you guys did it, and then all of a sudden the bad weather hit again.
no, it took a minute, but I just don't think people were ready. I feel like for us, well, February was a bad month in general.
Yeah.
Just like dead around here, and it wasn't just me. Like other local companies were saying the same thing. It was just weird than past years. And so just that kind of concept. I think it was, just a different year. We gotta try different things and go from there. So, but yeah, I want to definitely try in like a couple weeks again and just go from there.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. I mean, if we thought like COVID was bad, but it was like a different kind of bad, and now it's just like it's just chaos. There's just more chaos every single day. And so I think everybody feels that, honestly, and financially it's hard right now. Um, when that happens, it's really important in all of your messaging and how you present your company on the phones and how you present yourself online and everything, that you are presenting your brand as a more kind of uppity brand. You're attracting more affluent clients, however you can, and you're trying to show up in the more affluent neighborhoods and so on. Because during times like this, honestly, like a lot of businesses go out of business. So like there's other cleaning companies in your area, I can almost guarantee you they're going out of business. We heard that a lot post COVID, and I would imagine it's going to happen again. And so if you're showing up in the right places and messaging to the right people, then you can have a better chance of attracting like more affluent clients. But
Yeah, I even just showing up more on social media has kind of helped us, just doing more like, hey, we're a local company, I'm a mom, this kind of stuff. So just doing things like that has actually, I actually got a decent amount of leads from
cool.
social media recently from that. So
That's awesome.
just trying to change it up a little bit, and like supporting local, obviously, like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the more involved you are in the community and the more you've got a public face, people really do trust you, and people buy into that a lot. It's a very real thing for sure. Yeah. Love that. It's awesome. Kate, did you have any more questions on the money levers? You feeling pretty confident with everything we just did? You're muted.
Sorry, trying to do payroll at the same time. I'm just looking real quick. Okay. If I share this, I don't want to take up every,
It's all good. I think this is really helpful for everybody because I know a lot of people have had questions around the money levers and stuff.
okay, so now, when I add the other things that I'm doing as far as marketing,
Hmm?
then I'll have more of these, and then I just simply turn them on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Correct.
you'll go into the marching orders and you'll decide to do them that week, basically. They'll show like all this is showing up. What you're showing me is there because you put it into the marching orders for this week.
Mhm.
Guys, one thing I want to mention, really glad we're talking about the software, honestly, because there's been so many updates. So now in your tasks for this week, when you click on that, will you click on one of those, Kate?
Yes. Oh, sure. Like one of these.
Yeah. So now all it's doing is when you click on it, you just said, I did it. Okay. So we're actually not going to be doing weekly tracking anymore. And everybody say, yay, we're not doing weekly tracking anymore. We're just going to focus on the monthly because I think it kind of got in the weeds for everybody and it was a little bit confusing. And so now All your tracking is going to happen right next to where your goals are. At the end of the month, you'll come in and just do tracking. In fact, I'm going to do a special call for everybody beginning of April. So once March is over, we'll come in and actually do some tracking together. So if you guys want to jump on that call, 'cause it's been a little bit of a bump in the road for some people, and so I want to make that as easy as possible. So, but yeah, so now don't worry about having to keep track of, gosh, what did I do this week and everything. It's really more the behavior. Josh says you can have whatever you want if you can just focus on 7 days at a time. And so that's really what this is about, is like committing to, I'm going to pass out 300 flyers this week, or I'm going to pass out 25-yard signs. I'm going to run $1,000 of Google ads, whatever it is. Just committing to doing it and getting it done. And then on Friday, just come into the software and say, I did it. And you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. I like that.
Cool.
So you said that the recordings were going to be in here somewhere?
Yeah, if you go to Battle Group, it'll be under your group resources. We have all the calls up to now, and also all your what do you call it? All your war plan links are there. And if you scroll down to documents, man, I tried to upload this one document for you guys and it just won't do it. The the one that I was just using with you, the client frequency calculator. But anyways, it's not there. I just,
That would be nice to have too.
yeah, maybe I can do it under the links, and I'll try it again and I'll see if I can put it under the links.
Maybe you can even just text it to us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And Ellie, since you use Made Central, yours actually is like amazing. You guys' dashboard already has that for you, so that's really cool. But most
Oh,
of
yeah,
your-
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm still learning Made Central. There's just so much to it.
I
Like,
know.
and they keep changing things because they're in beta still too. And it's
Yeah.
just, between this and Made Central. And then I just linked up with Podium today. And I already have Keep. I'm like, I have so much software that I need to figure out how to use all of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
just keep an eye on it. Make sure your overhead doesn't creep up on you. Make
Yeah.
sure you consolidate as much as you can into one
Oh,
place.
no, I did with Podium. They have a phone system, and Verizon was just hitting me. had Verizon One, so I dropped another review Google person and then dropped Verizon, and so it actually saved me money to go with them. So
Good. Awesome. I was such a software nerd. I kind of got in the weeds with that sometimes, my overhead. Cool. Well, does anybody else have any questions? I know this is like not what we were planning on doing at all, but I think it's really helpful, honestly, because the nuts and bolts, is really where the battle is won. So
I'm sorry I came in late. So this will be available for me to look up and rewatch.
yeah, this might be really helpful for you. We actually did, we went through Kate's software and we did the new goals. So we set that up. And then we also went through a couple money levers and then also the marching orders. So I know that you had some questions around that. So yeah, this call would probably be really helpful for you. I'll have it up in the software either at the end of the day tomorrow, today or early tomorrow.
Oh, okay, that's good. We're so busy right now. I need to hire. That's what I'm focusing on right now. So
Yeah. Cool. Real quick, kind of a little tidbit for you guys. If you go into the F.R.A.P formula, then there's actually what's called a Rockstar Employee Bonus, and I highly encourage you guys to watch that training because it's a little bit higher level hiring strategies, and a lot of it, you may have learned with Recruit, but there's also some little nuances you can change. And so I encourage you to watch that training if you haven't already, because it might be really helpful for you during hiring season.
I was thinking about hire Lead and Chill, Sean Day. I
Cool.
know a few people that have had real good success with them.
Yeah, I've heard good things as well. Very cool.
David, I don't want to take up time here, but I do need some time with you because I think I messed something up in my marching orders.
Okay.
It's not really showing me like my gap anymore, so I'm pretty sure I messed this up.
It's probably not you, honestly. It could have been the updates. Do you want to share your screen and we can go over it right now? I don't mind doing
I-
that. I think it's helpful.
I'm on my phone.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we can definitely set that up. So let me here, I'm gonna put my calendar link in the chat for you guys right now. And if you need to grab a spot, feel free to do so.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Whoops. Damn. Okay, so I put my calendar link in the chat, and so feel free to grab a spot, and it'll have a Zoom link for you, and it'll send you reminders and everything. So, be happy to help you with that.
Oh, and by the way, happy birthday the other day.
Ah, thank you.
Mhm.
My birthday on Saturday. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
happy
41
birthday.
years old now. So, well, cool. Just curious, have you guys watched the money mission for the Fast Pass yet? Money Mission 7? Have you guys seen
No.
that yet? Okay. It's super easy to implement. If you want, excuse me, we could watch it right now. It's like 10 minutes long, and then we could talk about it for like 10 minutes. It's
I'm okay with
kind of-
that. I'm good with that.
yeah, it's kind of so easy to implement.
I am okay with it, although I might not be because of my battery level, and
Okay.
I have a charger story that you don't want to hear about.
I understand. No worries.
It's
Well,
always something, isn't it, Kate?
if it dies, it's okay. We'll have the recording, and you can go back and watch this. Novi, you were on here the other day, right? Whenever we did Money Mission 7.
I missed last week. I was on the week before.
Okay. Okay, cool. This one, I was actually thinking of you for this one. You might have some really cool ideas where you could like charge people double for last minute, bookings, or I don't know what, but it may give you some ideas. So let's watch this really quick, and then we'll talk about it and how we can implement it. Cool. Here we go. And I'm going to turn off my video just so it doesn't take bandwidth.
Hey, my friend, welcome back to Warplan AI's Money Mission. This is number 7. We call it Fast Pass. Here's something that might break your brain, but did you realize that your pricing is actually part of your brand? Okay, so I'll circle this down here. Your pricing is part of your brand, but there's something else that's part of your brand too, and it's your speed. So we're going to talk about selling speed, and we're not talking about the illicit drug speed. We're talking about selling convenience, selling, an accelerated service or an accelerated experience. There's lots of ways to kind of mix and match this. And what's awesome about Fast Pass or this money mission is if you think creatively for your company, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 very simple things that you can monetize after I explain how this works. And chances are it's going to be 100% profit to you. It's not going to cost you any extra to deliver it if you do it right, right? Let's learn from the rich mouse, okay? Anybody know who I'm talking about? The rich mouse? It's called Walt Disney, the company. I've heard they do pretty well for themselves. They make $1 or 2. Now, Disney is a ridiculous marketing machine. One of the things they do at Walt Disney World or at their theme parks is they sell a fast pass. I mean, we've all heard of this. They don't use a card anymore. I think they use those bracelets, right? And it's for people that want to skip the line. Now, depending on the type of industry you're in, this will have some nuance to it. So I'll use, for example, like a service company that does carpet cleaning or something. So carpet cleaners go out and they give a quote and they give a price, and the person says, yeah, sure, sounds good. When can you come do it? And then the carpet cleaner, if they're really small, they might be booked 2 or 3 weeks out or 2 months out. I hope not, because you're leaving a lot of money on the table. But whatever the case is, they schedule and then they do the service. And what's really interesting is that if you just offered for people to get it done faster, very briefly, a lot of them would say, no, it's fine. We can wait 2 weeks. But some of them will say, yeah, that'd be great, right? And you charge them for it. It's very simple. I mean, there's different types of buyers, right? So when you're looking at all of your customers, they're not all created equal. Can I get an amen? They're not, you know who I'm talking about. Think of the crazy customer that you're thinking of right now. Yeah, we don't want more of them. We want the affluent people that value time. The people you're going to make the most profit from in any service company are the people that value their time more than anything else. And to give you an example of that, I'll give you two examples. When I moved to Texas, we had this home, and before we even moved furniture into it, I got a postcard in the mail, true story, from a local lawn care. This is in Frisco, Texas, a local lawn company. And so it had a QR code on it and it said, get an instant estimate now. I scanned the QR code and then I put in my address, answered some questions, and it gave me a price. And it said, would you like to just book and pay for it now? To my surprise, I'm like, yes, I would. I don't have to talk to a human. I can just give you money and you make my problem go away and you mow the lawn. This is amazing. I'm the type of buyer that values time a lot. I don't want to have to do stuff. I don't want to have to call. I would pay more to not have to do stuff. And we actually lived in that house for 2.5 years. I never once talked to any of the people at the company, but like clockwork, they came and did the stuff. They would do fertilizer, they would upsell stuff, and they would just send me a receipt telling me what they did. And I didn't have to even think about it. And what I was paying for was convenience or speed. Now, not everyone will do that, but the ones that will can massively affect your bottom line. So we at least want to offer it at a minimum. So the carpet cleaner guy might say, you know, hey, if you're a member of our VIP buyers club, we can actually have you skip the queue and we can get to you within we have a 48-hour guarantee. So I don't know if there's anything pressing, but it's only this much a year for the club and we can come in 2 days, or it's this much of a fee and we can come faster, right? An emergency cleaning fee. We used to do that in my cleaning business, and 1 out of 8 people probably would buy it. But it didn't cost me anything because all we would do is schedule those jobs a little bit earlier in the morning or at the end of the day. And then we would give a little small bonus to our crews to go do those jobs, right? But because we're charging for it, it's like money for air. It's crazy. A couple other examples similar in the similar vein is Uber. A lot of people don't know this, but Uber charges different prices based on demand, which is a critical thing that really everyone should consider doing. You know, when you're at your peak busyness, your prices should be going up. That's called supply and demand pricing. And so they use what they call surge pricing. And so they can tell, because it's a technology company, kind of where the sweet spot is on how much is too much and how little is too little to balance out the supply and the demand. Are you doing that? Right? You can do that. And when you're at peak busyness, you can raise your prices up and make a lot more money. Another example of sort of selling speed is the Amex Centurion Lounge. So I have, you know, credit cards for my business. I have a Amex Gold and an Amex Platinum, and they're these metal business cards. And they're metal, which it gives you perceived value, but you get access to these lounges. And when you've traveled through the airport, you can go to these lounges. They're like amazing. They have like private workstations, buffets of food, an open bar. Everything's free. It's part of the thing. Now, is that selling speed? It actually is, sort of. It's selling or giving a bonus to people that value their time, people that want status. And even if you're a little carpet cleaner, you can give people status. So let's talk about how to do this. So first of all, because speed is part of your brand, you know, answering your phone in 1 ring matters compared to 4 rings, or God forbid, call them back later when they leave a message. The response time that your company has automatically can make you more money. So if someone sends you a message on Facebook and you type back to them while they're still at their computer, that is huge, right? It just decommoditizes your business. When you're talking to someone that's speed sensitive, someone that values their time, they're like going to book it right now, do it right now. I don't care. Do it now. Boom, 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 boom. Premium price, premium profit for you. But we got to be responding really, really fast. The faster we answer questions, the more money you're going to make. A friend of mine in New Jersey runs a pressure cleaning company, and he actually can schedule and complete the job before a lot of his competitors even call them back. And so he doesn't let his schedule get booked out really, really far. He'll do jobs next day, but he's almost twice the price of everybody else. And he does almost $400,000 a month during their busy season pressure cleaning, because he's specifically catering to people that value time. They want it now. They want it fast. They don't care that it costs $2,000 instead of $1,000. They want it now. His response time is off the chart. Then of course the result. So how fast can you go do the thing? If you're going to fix my car and it's going to take 10 days, that's pretty crappy for someone like me. I want my car back. I don't want the little tiny rental car while I'm waiting. I will pay more for you to do it right now. I'll pay more for me to get it tomorrow instead of next week. Not everyone will, but it's free money. Just make the offer. And then status can be part of it. It could be part of a VIP buyers club. And I give you some ideas below. And then, of course, people that are part of the club can get extras, right? Or people that are buyers of your fast pass can get other services other people can't get, or they can get other, benefits that other people don't get. You can be really creative with this. So let's open up the idea vault here. Here's a couple of them. You could call it the jump the queue program, the priority service thing, the VIP membership, the seasonal rush option, the rapid response guarantee. In the other money mission, we just talked about guarantees. You could have a rapid response guarantee, or if they join your continuity program, which continuity is just a fancy word for a reoccurring payment program, like they pay $20 a month, or they pay $300 a year, or they pay some sort of membership, then they get the rapid response guarantee. So when they book, they go first. And that gives them status, it gives them extras, it gets them the result faster, and the response time is fast, right? And then the last one I have is an express install. Are you comfortable with the standard install, or would an express install be better for you, Mrs. Jones? An express install? What's that? Oh, it's very simple. We do the same thing, except we can do it really fast. It costs us a little more because we're going to have our technician come earlier than normal, but that way you can have it done tomorrow or the next day instead of 2 weeks from now. Is that something you'd be interested in, right? So that is the idea of selling speed. So what areas of your business could you sell speed? Not the drug, but the opportunity for affluent people that are going to love you for selling them this. Trust me, you're going to get bigger tips after they pay for your fast pass because they're so grateful they didn't have to jump through hoops just to give you money. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your group discussions are valuable about this, and we'll see you in the next Money Mission.
Okay, awesome. So what'd you guys think? Any ideas popping up in your head so far?
We already do this through Made Central. We have an option for on demand.
Oh,
And then it raises the price. So like if they want it, and then so we'll send the quote like around to them. We'll send both the on demand and then it's the other one, and it's up to them which one they pick.
wow.
So I mean, and most of the time, like I was on the phone with a lady today. She's like, you got to take the time to talk to them. She's getting a divorce and they need to get their house on the market, and they just did post construction. She's like, do you do post construction? And I do, yes. And asked her some questions and just made a rapport with her. And she's like, I want to get my house on the market because I'm trying to close my other house. And I was like, and she's like, you don't have to do the kitchen. So send her the quote over for $880. She's like, I'll take it. When can you get me in? I said, we can get you in on Tuesday.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. So do you have, if they do it on demand like that, do you have like a certain time frame that you make sure they get in?
Yeah, they have to, it'll be within 5 days, within 5 business days.
Okay, cool. Cool. I like that. It's good. You could honestly even like how far booked out are you guys typically?
We're usually booked out about 3 weeks, but there's always room on the schedule because I have a part-time person that will hop in if I need it. That wasn't something that I was taught before, but it's helped a lot. And so because I'm not hopping in on a clean at all. If anybody does that, if you're losing money unless you have an office staff to support it. And I need to actually hire another salesperson. That's how busy we are, and we're still doing puddle jumping.
Yeah.
I mean, these levers work, and you don't have to pull another one if the other one's still working. That's
Sure,
why.
yeah.
Yeah,
You can, and what's cool about puddle jumping is you can take it and do it in a different neighborhood,
and that's what we're doing, and that's why we're growing. And I've had other technicians that I'm building their schedule that I've already hired in these areas, and I've got people waiting for jobs, and I'm trying to fill them before I hire them. So
Well, one thing you can do too, and I want to encourage you guys to do this, especially in maid service and Novi, you could definitely do adaptations of it, is if you are booked out more than I would say 2 weeks, then you need to raise your prices at least a little bit and at least temporarily. And then you can always bring them down. So I love what Josh teaches, and they actually do this quite a bit in what's it called? The power washing industry. They practice supply and demand pricing. So at least for first time cleans, that could fluctuate. You could add 20% if you're booked out 3 or 4 weeks, and then that's pure profit for the business. And then it helps you through your slow times, so you can build up your cash better. And then you can also try raising your prices overall if you tend to be, you don't have to do it on old business, but new business, just raise your prices if you tend to be booked out more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a few of our legacy clients that, I mean, I should raise prices on, but they're so consistent and they've been with us for like 3 years. And, I know they're on a budget and they need our services. So I just kind of put those as flex houses. I mean, some people don't know what a flex house is, but I just kind of put them as flex houses and they're fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that. I did a lot of that because I've got a big heart and I'm kind of a softie. And so
Me too.
a lot of people like that. You do have to be careful though. You just always want to make sure your cogs is in order. That's like the number one beast that can be unwielding. So make sure your cogs is always on point, and then make sure
Yeah, I
um,
dropped an admin because my admin was way too high. So I had to, but I mean, I had some extenuating circumstances, so
yeah.
I'm glad they were here when they were here, but now I've dropped an admin, so now I'm back to work full time.
Cool. Some other things you can do for maid service, some ideas that we had come up with is you could do a VIP program where you charge, let's say for example, you charge like $97 per year. And what happens with that is they get priority service with their initial deep clean. So they get moved up in the schedule if possible. And then they also could, let's say they get priority service if they need like holiday cleanings or guest cleanings throughout the year. They get priority scheduling. And they pay like $100 a year for that. Or you could also do it to where they get like 1 or 2 free spruce ups throughout the year. So maybe you can send a tech over for an hour and a half or 2 hours just to like spruce something up before company comes over. And so that's something you can offer in the initial sales process is, hey, we've got this VIP program. We had a kind of a VIP program in our company before I sold it. And I had one client that was paying $25 extra per week, and she was a weekly client, so she was paying us $1,200 extra per year, basically, to get like on-demand oven and fridge cleanings, and like she could upgrade to laundry service a couple times a year or something like that.
How did you pitch that though? Especially because that sounds really good to me because we have a lot of professors at KU, where I'm in a college town, and
Yeah.
we clean for a lot of staff that work for the university. So there's certain times of the year, especially basketball, football, and then like students coming in that like the faculty, like the people we clean for will have us come in every week for that month. So, but I mean, they already do it, but how would you pitch that without losing money on jobs like that?
So yeah, it's what I was gonna say was she like never used any of those things. Like she was paying us $100 extra per month, but she never used any of that. And that's just profit for the business. So when you offer something like a VIP program, half the time or more, the people don't even take advantage of what they have offered. And you can send reminders, hey, you could schedule your things or whatever. But it's kind of like guarantees where most people don't use guarantees. So it's kind of up to you how you want to pitch it. Obviously you want to be super above board with everything, but like I've just noticed that a lot of times people will pay for stuff like that, but they won't use it very much. And so I don't know. That's just an idea for a VIP program because you won't lose money on the deal again because half the people won't use it, or they won't use it to its fullest extent. Does that make sense?
Right, right.
So, and then you can also yeah, so I think that was the main thing we talked about with maid service. And then I like the idea of having an emergency cleaning fee like Josh was talking about. So this would be great for your people that aren't recurring, but they're like move out cleans. People, a lot of times they want those last minute. And you can say, yeah, we've got an emergency cleaning fee. It's $150. And we can get you in tomorrow or in 2 days or whatever. So that could be really helpful. And again, with those fees, I would not factor them into your technician pay. I would just do them on top, so that it's more profit for the business. 'Cause that could
How do
really-
you do, how do you do that?
there's a setting in Made Central where whenever you add a line item in Made Central to the quote, you can choose whether to add it to technician pay or not.
I'll have to check into that because that could make me a lot more money because it's,
Yeah. So, Novi, did you have any ideas of how you guys could implement kind of a speed pass into your business?
Was that to me? Because I'm breaking up.
So, sorry.
I couldn't hear you. The phone was
Oh.
breaking up.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just saying if you had any ideas about how to implement a type of speed pass into your business. I guess it's
Just
breaking up.
because we do online scheduling. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. We do online scheduling, so I don't really know how I can incorporate speed with that.
So,
I know during like holiday season, maybe that could work because people are trying to, reserve their spots in advance because the weekends book out very quickly.
yeah.
But outside of like seasonal sets, like I don't know how I would do that on a regular basis.
Yeah. So you could do supply and demand pricing where in your peak seasons, maybe that's 3 or 4 months out of the year, you could add, let's say, 15 or 20% to your prices. So all your prices go up during peak season and you stay booked out, but you make more money. And then during slow seasons, kind of bring it down to where it normally is, or maybe even offer a slight discount. Um, you could,
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, for the season. So for obviously the Christmas season from like September to December, I feel like those are peak months for us.
Mhm.
So we did raise the price during the holiday season. I didn't actually drop the price.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
probably could have for February for sure, but
Yeah.
we still did very well. Or we did much better than last year this time because prices were higher.
Okay, good. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys are still so early in business. It may take you a minute to learn what that cycle is like. You might find over time that, hey, yeah, maybe in February we do want to lower it just a hair or whatever. But um, let me ask you this. How quickly, when somebody goes on the website to book, how far in advance are they usually booking? So are they booking in for 2 days out? Are they booking for this weekend? Are they booking for 2 weekends out?
I mean, it varies, but I mean, just today we've had like 3 book this week, like a session this week.
Okay. Because what if you here and you could play with this. You could try it like 1 month and just see if it works. And if it doesn't, you could go back to the regular way. But let's say if they need a session within 72 hours, that the system automatically adds 20% to their booking rate, and that's just done on the back end, and they don't really know any different. But then if it's more than 72 hours, it gives them sort of the normal rate. And that way, if they do need it faster, you make more money on the people who need it and want it faster. And it just really helps your profit and to where you can grow the business and stuff. Um, and then, for the people that just need it kind of whenever they need it, not a big deal. Then, it's the regular rates. Have you thought about doing something like that?
No, I mean, I have not, but I guess I will have to try to figure out how to do that, like in the system.
Sure. Yeah, you might see if there's a some type of like timer almost that you can turn on where, if it's within this hour window, add X amount. Maybe it's $25 extra or whatever.
What system are you using, Novi?
For our scheduler right now, we're using Acuity scheduling.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, and I'm actually in the process of potentially switching over to a different one just so that we can offer like a loyalty rewards membership.
Cool.
I'd be careful with that. I tried that and it didn't work out very good.
No?
But you're in a different business than I am, so it could be great for you. If you're happen to spend more money on it, I'd be leery about it because you can make a loyalty program yourself through Warplan AI and send it out through a blast email
Well,
or
this
advertise on Facebook groups and things like that.
it wouldn't actually cost more because it's also a scheduler,
Oh,
like a schedule
integrated.
system. Yeah, so it's integrated. And the cool thing about this one is that it actually does all the tracking directly from the booking. So I wouldn't have to like integrate it into another app. And
That's
I
good.
could also potentially cancel my email marketing tool
Okay.
and maybe even my website, depending on how it goes, because it also offers those features.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Simplybook.me.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Very cool.
The
Well,
easier the easier you can get it to flow with the way that the world is going, in my opinion, with the online booking has been just phenomenal for us. Of course, you need to follow up on everything, but I mean,
Mhm.
we're just slammed just from doing puddle jumping. I mean, we are just, and then we went and put cards downtown. I mean, we've gotten at least 8 calls in the last 2 days that are from just the puddle jumping. And I don't know what our close rate last week was 100%. So I know I need to raise prices.
That's
Oh, wow.
awesome.
Yeah, totally. Um, well, you might talk with your boyfriend about that and see what you guys think if that might be something that you want to try and if we could brainstorm some more. Also, Novi, remind me whenever we do meet, whenever you grab a spot, I wanted to show you a specific Facebook ad that you can run. It's what's called like creating a lookalike audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show you how to do that to
Perfect.
try to get in front of more people. What it does is it gets you in front of more people like the people who already use your service because Facebook, of course, knows everything about them. So, and Instagram too. It's the same. You can show up on both platforms.
That'd be awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's pretty simple. So,
All right, well, I'm gonna get off here. Thank you, David. I'm
yeah,
gonna
you're welcome.
watch this when you get it back up. And then I made an appointment for Thursday, so for
Okay,
me and Melinda. So
great.
I will see you then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks. Have a good night, Novi. It was nice speaking to you.
Yes, you as well.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. All right, have a good one, Novi.
All right, you too, David. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.